Hey guys, so today we're going to be changing a set of rack ends and inner rack arms on this Mercedes over here. Let's go take a look at it. Can't hit the wheel. I'm going to grab it at sort of 3 and 9, give it a rock. Don't know if the camera is going to pick up that knock. Ready? But it's quite a bad knock. Just doing this test, it could be the inner or the outer. So let's go swing on the inside and have a look. I always find that the best way to test these when I'm on my own on the roadside is to get the camera in behind, act as an extra pair of hands, an extra pair of eyes behind the wheel, and give the wheel a juggle. And as you can see, that arm there is moving. You can see it on the camera, very slight play in that arm. So what's going to need is an outer ball joint here, or the outer track rod end. Customer wants a set, wants a pair, so that's what we're going to be giving them today. So yeah, let's crack on with it. Right, so first thing I've done is obviously I've got the wheel off. Now we're going to take some maintenance spray, spray it on these threads that we're going to be using on kneading. Give it a couple of moments to soak, then go at it with a wire brush and clean any bits of debris. There is some sort of controversy over this, whether you spray it and then clean it or clean it and then spray it. I don't really care, do whatever suits you best. The reason I spray it first because I like that penetrating fluid to soak in and disturb any rust and then clean off that rust. Then I will spray it again just to wash it off, I suppose. But you do whatever suits you best. But now what we're going to do is loosen off this lock nut here. And this is a lock nut, so obviously we want to tighten up this thread. So we're going to need to tighten it. Whereas when you're loosening it, it tightens up against the track rod. So you're going to actually tighten this one to send up that thread there. If that makes any sense. Just get a 21mm spanner, knock it free. You can see that's turning there. And it's now come loose in the track rod end there. What it's actually doing though is spinning on the inner arm, which is good because it allows us to track it up, but I wanted to use this boot, so we have to find a way of overcoming that. Okay, so what I've actually ended up doing, just whilst we've got the rigidity of it being bolted in here, is I've hit it with a minute for the map gas, and it's worked free, so now we can get that bolt off. And what's next is this nut here. I'm going to take a 22 or an impact, so obviously if you've got hand tools and that's fine too, and then just bits out. That's going to be seized on a taper in there that's going to be holding it in, the friction's going to hold it in. So you're going to need to break that friction free with a hammer to drop it all out. So I've got my purse, I'm just going to hit it here on this edge and hit it into the hub rather than this way, and hit it out and potentially break it. It's not a lot of swing room, so you do have to just be persistent with it. It is slowly coming. Right, now we're going to get this boot off, so we're going to get a pair of pliers, squeeze them tight in there, slide them down, and then back in there, I don't know if you can see it, it's going to touch in there. See there, that little tab there, just above my finger. I'm going to get a screwdriver in there, give it a good tap and just knock that free. Then we'll be able to slide this boot off. And that band is now broken free. Get the torch back in there. See that band's broken free there. So now we can just work this boot off to expose the junk. And let's spin this outer one before the way. We're going to be counting these turns because we want to know how many to put it back on. I need to grab that. I counted 19, I hope you did too. Now we're going to remove this nut here, literally exact same thing. Heat up that nut again, but with that off. Get a pair of pliers, pull this all the way down, only because it's hot. Get all the way off. Let's expose the joint up there, and it looks like there is a bit of play in that too. It's definitely old and warm. So let's get it off. Right, so I have actually got the specialist tool here. I much prefer to use a pair of Stilton on it, pipe wrench, whatever you want to call it. So I've got the tool set up there. I did use, sorry, a pair of pipe wrenches. Just turn it around. My preferred method is the Stilton pipe wrench, whatever they're called. When you're mobile, you're working on the ground anywhere around the country, sometimes it's best to have a tool that does multiple jobs rather than a tool that does one job, and that's the case here. I'm not any better. I'm not going to do this job any better with this tool than I would with the pipe wrench, and I'm probably not even going to use this tool. I'm probably going to use a pipe wrench anyway. So yeah, don't let people bully you. Right, I didn't record it just because I had to get my body in there. I didn't have the space. I literally grabbed onto it, the pipe wrench, and twisted it off. I mean, getting the pipe wrench on there was a lot faster than trying to find out what tool I needed from the special kit and working it out that way. So now we're just going to twist it off. Job finger done. Right, when refitting the new one, I like to put a drop of thread locker on it. Drop a thread lock on it there. Just, you don't need to, but I get a little bit paranoid and like to make sure it is perfect. So then what we're going to do is just fit it in. Just literally just screw it in. Right, and then that's tightened up by hand. I'm going to nip it up the rest of the way with the pipe wrench. We can secure the new one. Right, so we've got that boot back on. As I said, we're reusing this one. Couldn't source a new one in time, and obviously this is a safety repair. I'm actually here at the customer's work, and his car was wobbling on the way to work, so we had to rush out and get it done. So yeah, it's not the. It would be best to replace it, but there's no rips or tears in it, so it's not the utmost importance. So let's bring that nut back on the track rod end. And now that you've got that back far enough to clear the track rod end, and first I'm going to clean this surfaces up so it goes on there nice and smooth on the knuckle there, and then just put the track rod end back on. Something to actually pay attention to here is that these are actually sided, so make sure you get the correct one that you need for this side of the vehicle. Again, we're counting those turns. Counted 19 again. I'm actually going to go back and double check on the footage that was the right number. Yep, so apparently my count is not as bad as I thought. So we'll just put this lock nut back in, just snug it up. Put this back in the arm, or the hub, sorry. I'm going to snag this one back down. Like I said again, you're actually loosening it here to snag it up against the track rod end. Oh, come on. There we are. And this is a 22 here, because they like to change the sizes. I've already got one in my hand. So I'm just going to tighten this up by hand to a degree, and then I'm going to hop over to E3 Technical and torque it down to manufacturer specification. Right, that's spinning in there now, so what I'm going to actually do is get the jack underneath there, put a bit of tension on it, hold it on that tape I was telling you about earlier, and then I'm going to torque it down to manufacturer specification. Right now, everything is torqued up and is set to where it should be. The count on the number of turns this comes off with is not doing correct tracking. You do need to have this track. Now I need to take this to be tracked for the customer, or the customer needs to take it to be tracked either way. It needs to be done properly. So this isn't actually the end of the job, but we're going to move on to the other side now and leave it there for you. But yeah, take it to get tracked if you haven't got a tracker in your workshop, or if you're just doing it on your drive, take it to be tracked and all should be well. As you can see, that play and that knocking has definitely gone. Just going to wheel back on, replace it to the opposite side, and enjoy the rest of my day.